greatly concerned that, one, he may not have done it. That's the most serious suspicion. And if he had done it, it would be easy enough to provide it. And that he hasn't provided it may mean that the whole foundation of his evaluation is at fault. So it's of vital concern.
So there's a motion on the floor.
I second it. What was the motion?
Is there further discussion?
Do we, so we want to table, you want to table this one?
That's not, we're not on that one yet.
How
We're at the,
how did I do with it?
we're on the is it Johnson? Johnson.
Suzanne moved to table, but then there was discussion, so that didn't get a second. So,
I second that.
okay, so,
We're going to table the Johnson family abatement.
well, we haven't voted on that yet.
She seconded it.
Well,
I'm just trying to
But there
kind of keep in order here, because
there has to be a vote, thank you. So there has to be a vote.
there needs to be two votes, one to call the attorney and one to table the abatement.
Which one do you want to take first?
You're the chair.
Okay,
Lady's
so
choice.
let's take the motion to direct Christine to call Sally to see whether or not the state requirements have been fulfilled by Parker Associates.
The contract requirements.
And I think
And
we have to
state.
go,
And
The
state.
state
the
requirements.
other thing I would like for her too, if she thinks they have, what would her recommendations be to move forward in this process, Christine? Because I think it would be better to have her advice than us trying to.
So is that an acceptable amendment?
Yes. Feedback in the audience.
I second that.
Okay. All in favor of consulting with Sally under those circumstances?
Yes.
A lot of what is being spoken is assessor talk. It means different things to assessors than it does to everybody else, including lawyers. So just a word of caution. When we say assessors manager, we know what we mean. I'm not sure that an attorney will exactly get the full implications of that.
Sally teaches the course, I think she will.
Good.
Sorry.
No, thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
So did,
Now, the next one
my
is,
last language, you voted in favor.
Yes,
Okay.
all three of us agreed.
and the next motion was moved and seconded to table the Johnson request. Is there any further discussion?
Are you comfortable with that?
No. If you get the right
If we get
formula.
this, I know you want it resolved. Are you comfortable with this tabling until we get this done properly?
Yeah.
Just more runaround.
I am-
It should have been several months ago. He should have settled it right when he made the mistake.
I apologize.
You don't, it wasn't your mistake, it was his.
I apologize that we're taking so long to get your answer.
We just like it right and fair for
And path
for
forward.
what it is.
And I haven't got, let's finish this. Let me say
So
something else.
there's a motion on the floor that has been seconded to table the Johnson abatement. Question? All in favor?
One question. We don't want to have to go through an appeal thing and all of that. We will sit down with anybody and go through more of this and listen to what the formulas are. But I've done all the research I want on this. I don't know if I've given you all of that, but it wouldn't do any good because you haven't got the formula.
100%.
So I don't feel that we should have to go through an appeal. We've paid our taxes for this year, we're all set with that, that's not a problem. We want it right for the future. And we're fine tabling it, but I don't think we should be forced to go through an appeal and all of that.
Mr. Hennessy?
Well, right now, as far as I know, they're still in the abatement process
They are still in the abatement.
that the board at some point could act on.
Correct.
Right.
If we get the formulas,
Hasn't been formally denied as far as
No,
No, it has not.
having to go to
It has
the
not.
It's been
board
tabled.
yet.
if we get the formulas and can and tabulate the math and come up with a reasonable figure, we should be able to approve it.
Okay.
Just as another note, Bob has made a number of statements on Deepwater Vice title. It's been, hey, I'll get back to you with the definition shortly. Never happened for all three of the assessors. He has also made the statement, well, all of West Bath is title, and I'm gonna make the change. In some cases he has, some cases he hasn't. So this is a very dubious situation that needs resolution.
the request for abatement for the Roland Shaw property.
No, we passed Patrick Nelson.
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. Nelson.
So I have,
Wishful thinking.
so I have your application for reduction in real estate land of $82,900 and a building of $219,009. And, so do you have is that off of what their value was? Because you don't have.
Yes, so the supporting documentation, so I submitted 2 real estate appraisals and a market value analysis. And so that's based on the information out of those 3 independent objective
And you were
opinions that I
requested
submitted.
to supply, that was your secondary
That was
process.
supports that, yeah.
based upon. So I move that we approve the abatement on behalf of the Nelson family. They have put their parcels through here. I remember seeing the package. There were 2 appraisals.
Well,
There were 2 appraisals, there were also a market analysis. He's done his due diligence in the preparation of this and has followed the request of her appraisal to move this forward. So therefore I think we should reduce his land value by $82,900, which is it's on his sheet in here, he has a second sheet. And reduce the building value by $219,000 based upon the work that he submitted and the formula that has been provided here.
this is, it's been corrected. Now, I'm reading a draft of a letter. That would have been sent. It says, the above referenced abatement request has been reviewed and has been reduced from $1,198,600.
Let's roll one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm very confused. Where are we at? We're
So
back
we're
to
on Nelson.
We're on Nelson. All right, I'm sorry. I put you.
So my abatement request is just based on overvaluation, right? And so I think in this specific case, whatever the formulas were, is to me not really relevant. Like, whatever process that was taken upon did not result in a market value assessment for my property. So I've provided 3 independent pieces of objective evidence, because the burden of proof is on me, I get it, 100%, like, I'm not
And
arguing
you've done
that.
it.
I've tried to give you guys the value,
Right.
if that is not sufficient, then please tell me what is.
I'm sorry. Let's just jump ahead and take Mr. Rowland, since I made this error. So the
What? I don't understand what you're.
I'll wait, it's fine. I'll wait.
could you tell me your name so I can?
Nelson.
Mr.
Mr.
Nelson?
Nelson.
Oh.
All right. So, Mr. Nelson. You were denied, and you believe,
and has the supporting documentation right here.
Right, and let me see what has, he says that according to his figures, which, he has recommended denial. And so, my suggestion is that if we're going to table this one, I mean, if we're gonna table the first one, we table the second.
So I guess my only answer to that would be like, the first one that you tabled didn't give you supporting evidence of a different evaluation that they were requesting. They wanted the formulas, right? I'm saying that the formulas here, I believe, did not apply to my specific property. You may have a larger issue here to discuss and deal with, but when I look at fair market value for my property and the assessment that the town levied on my property, I have provided 3 pieces of objective evidence that those do not, that they do not match, and all the 3 pieces of evidence that I provided are in line. So I guess the argument to me is different than the last property, in that I'm not asking you folks for any sort of additional information. I'm asking you to review the additional information that I submitted and make a determination of whether you feel that that process with respect to my specific property was accurate. Maybe we don't even know what that process was, but that's not relevant, I don't think, to the information that I've provided. And I guess my follow-up question that I've asked a few times would be, if that information is not enough, then what in addition do I need to come to you with for you to look at the case that I'm making?
So I believe you've done your work, and we've done our work to substantiate it any other way. We've not provided any other value. You've been directed to get an appraisal, you did too, and you also got a market analysis. You've gone beyond what I believe was the request for you to do that. So I move that we accept the values from the documented analysis he's submitted here from the 2 appraisals and the fair market analysis. He's given us a reduction in value of $82,900 from his value of $325,100, which takes the land value to $242,200. On behalf of the building, he has requested a $219,900 reduction from the $862,400 price point, taking the building to $642,500, taking the total value of $884,700. I don't know, what is our mill rate? Is it 11? What is it?
No.
No, 7.
8, is that what it went down?
680 or something like that.
678.
678, I can't remember.
88470.
Somebody up there knows
What is it? What is it?
I believe it's 6.78, but could be 6.8. I
I think it's 6.8, it wouldn't be an odd figure like that.
So that would take your abatement to $6,015. Hold on, that's not right. Let me make sure I did that right. 884,700 times .068. Is that right? Oh, it's $8 million.
I mean, maybe that number would be thrown around, I don't know.
I don't know how, I'm not gonna tabulate that. I move that we.
And just to be clear, I wasn't asked to tabulate that on the,
No, you have it on here,
application.
I don't have it,
Oh, I got
no,
you.
you didn't fill it out. I have a form
Just making
here,
sure, yeah.
I was trying to, because it shows old tax, new tax, and then and you take that value times the
Yeah,
mill rate, and
yeah, exactly, yeah, okay.
my numbers say you owe us $8 million.
Yeah.
So,
So there is a motion on the floor.
I move that we accept his abatement request, taking the total land value to $884,700 to be calculated at whatever the current real estate mill rate is as his tax rate.
I don't understand that.
So I think you're just moving to accept my
You
application.
took your application on the
Instead of
numbers you
denying.
provided.
Yeah, she just,
We're not denying it, we're accepting the numbers based upon his diligent work that he's provided. I think we should move forward and accept his abatement as presented.
so she's not changing anything, she's just accepting my application for abatement instead of denying my application.
Correct.
And the difference in the tax would be what?
We don't know.
That wasn't part of the application. The application
I used to be
wasn't-
really good at math, but at this hour I'm
So
not.
But it is part of what we
1, 2,
need to
3,
do as
Hold on,
part
I
of
can-
the abatement process.
Okay.
When are you gonna help me do this?
I don't know what a mill rate is. Generally, I mean, so your .000, I don't know what your mill rate is.
884,700.
The treasurer's always calculating.
I'll give you an approximation.
I don't even, you just,
We
you
don't need
can just say accept it or deny it. don't even-
I believe it
get
takes your taxes to $6,015.96, which was, it was initially $7,729, $21.40, $6,015.96.
As you have been so willing to point out, that if we don't have the formula, we can't make an educated.
But we have the formula. We're talking about a value. This has nothing to do with, we're following the formula they used. This is their formula. It's the valuation based upon the
The valuation based upon the value of.
two appraisers and a market value, which he was requested. That's what his due diligence is, for him to provide the supporting documentation, which he has done. Since it's his ownership to provide us the information, he has done that.
So my only question would be if that's not enough to grant abatement, what is? I guess when I read through the documents that are linked from the state through the West Bath website, that is what is asked of me to present to you to grant abatement. I'm not trying to pull anything over on anybody, I'm trying to provide exactly what you are asking me of objective evidence, because the burden of proof is on me. So if I have provided 3 pieces of evidence,
And just so you know,
what else do I need to do?
the comparable market analysis, we are $2,995 off from a comparable market analysis to what we've tabulated right here.
As a footnote, the state of Maine, I believe, requires anyone who opines a value of real estate to be a licensed Maine appraiser.
As in Parker Appraisal,
He is not licensed.
He is not required to be an.
He can be a town assessor, but he cannot be an
Certified.
he cannot opine an individual value for an individual for payment.
So this one
so therefore, we
says,
should take the appraisal that we have here, is what you're saying, as
I'm
valid.
saying, are they a licensed
yes,
Maine appraiser?
This,
licensed real estate broker.
no, this is
A
here's the
broker
thing.
is not
We have a
licensed.
real estate appraisal, we have a real estate appraisal, and we have a market analysis.
Yeah, but he's asking if they're licensed. Right here, it says, I am a licensed broker.
That's
But
not.
But that's not an appraiser.
Here's the
But it
appraisal.
doesn't say they're
Right,
licensed.
A market.
right, they have to be.
Here's the packet that has the
Right, but it
appraisals.
doesn't
Yeah.
say they're licensed.
Yeah.
Any appraiser is licensed.
No, that's not true.
No, there's not, they're.
So I believe on the 2 appraisals that I submitted, there are copies of the
I have it here.
the
Let's-
appraisal, the appraisal.
Let's see if I can find their appraisal's license number on here, and we can put this to rest.
It's either CG, CR, RI, or AP,
Where is it on here?
4 levels.
I'm sorry?
CG,
Well, where would
CR, it would be with their signature.
Okay, that winds it down.
If Mr. Nelson remembers the name of the appraiser, I could probably tell you.
Is the appraiser's name on the?
Andrea Galusha?
Andrea
That's
Galusha?
the real estate
Yeah,
agent.
so that was
not an
So
appraiser.
that was not one of the, yep, so I
Yep.
submitted 2 appraisals and a market analysis, so Andrea did the market
I'm
analysis.
trying to find it on here.
She's not a.
She's not. No, I'm looking,
How
Seeing
about,
that. oh, here it is, wait, I got it. Appraisal CR 4380,
Certified residential.
done.
Yep,
We have a winner.
yep.
Good.
And there's another one in there too, if you want to do the other one.
yeah, just for
You're
the.
pushing it,
I'm
Mr.
not
Nelson.
trying to put anything over.
Mr. Nelson, you're pushing it now.
No, you're,
And the difference is, she is subject to review and discipline by the Maine State Appraisal Board.
So we have a legitimate licensed appraiser who, as, what was the term you used?
What page was that on, Suzanne?
I have, it's his packet. There's,
You guys, I submitted.
this,
copies
he had
of
this
that packet.
list, he had a whole
I
packet.
just brought another
It's-
packet today.
It's in this packet here. We have 2 licensed appraisers and a fair market analysis from a realtor.
I don't think that's included in the administrator's report, is it? Did you say you left those
I'm sorry, Carly, I didn't hear
out? Are
the
the
question.
appraisals that Mr. Nelson submitted in the town
No,
administrator's?
I didn't print
Okay.
them all out again, it was quite comprehensive,
So
and
she's-
I already copied them
Yeah.
several times for the board.
So I have it here. I mean, we have,
Madeline, did you want to look at it? Yes, that would be, could you pass that down?
yeah, maybe I'll open it to the page where it was.
And I'm happy to print out more copies for tomorrow if you guys all want your own copies again, because there
I'm
should
just
be.
gonna wallpaper the kitchen with it.
Yeah.
Nelson. I believe that Mr. Nelson has done his due diligence, and has followed our town's request on the website, and has supplied what we asked him to substantiate his request. Therefore, I move forward that we accept his abatement request with a total value of $884,700.
What was the number again, I'm sorry?
$884,700.
You're abating 800?
No, the total value.
That's the abated value of
The
the
abated
property.
value from his land value was reduced,
I don't think that's the number you're referring to.
I'm reading it off of the form.
Juanita?
Only because Mr. Nelson has asked it so many times. Whatever appraisals, and especially supported with Andrea, who I respect greatly, as a market analysis, all of that makes sense. I'm going to, if I may, answer his specific question because of the Board of Assessment Review, the same question could come up. What is typically sought if the board wasn't comfortable, and my goodness, you've given so much information, but typically the parameters are all sales used for the purposes of ad valorem must be from within the taxable jurisdiction. So if I go to your home as a federal appraiser, I'm within a 10-mile radius because you're rural, you're in West Bath, so I'm drawing that conclusion. If you're urban, I'm within 2 miles. If you're suburban, I'm within 3.5. As an assessor, the sales are from within the taxable jurisdiction and they can reach further back in time and be adjusted moving forward. But whatever the Board of Assessors is comfortable with is what is appropriate because they have no formula to compare it to. But that's the answer, Mr. Nelson, if I may give it to you.
And Mr. Nelson has done what the website directed him to do as well. And we need to honor that plus the values. And to be frankly honest, his value is higher than the 2 appraised values. So he's jumped farther in the pool.
So is there a, what amount of tax are you?
Based upon if it are,
That's not what I was asked to provide.
I think
in the
I believe if
application.
our mill rate is 6.8%, the tax rate would be $6,015.96. If that is the I'm sorry, I don't know it off the top of my head.
It isn't necessary that you calculate it tonight, the treasurer can calculate it for you, she
But that's what
just needs to know the value.
That's what I'm saying, if we come up with the value of $884,700, I believe is the appropriate value. I don't know the mill rate to be exact.
And that's okay,
I thought-
that's gonna change every year theoretically, right? I get it.
And it keep going down.
Yeah.
So, for my purpose of clarification,
the land and building value, based upon his submission.
You're
And,
reducing the land to 242
correct,
and the building to 642. 5.
taking the total value to 884,
Yes.
total value. And if our mill rate is 6.8, the tax is roughly $6,015.
Okay. Is that a motion?
So yes.
Yes.
Just
Suzanne
make
has
sure
said
your
that
numbers are
motion.
right.
Separate.
I'm not sure. How can we be sure that the numbers are right?
No,
This one?
that whole
Any-
stack.
If we're going to change the value, I would prefer that we have the tax figured by the tax collector.
Absolutely. Well, the value, I can come up with the value, I can't come up with the
Well,
tax rate.
Suzanne's original motion, which I think, if I may,
Yes,
it was to approve the request to reduce the land by 82.9 and buildings by 219.9. So that's,
And has that been seconded?
no.
I will second that.
Is there any further discussion?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Are we ready to vote?
We are ready to vote.
All right, let's vote. All in favor?
May I have that packet
Congratulations.
You did it.
back? Seven times the charm. Here's your paperwork back.
You want, should it be kept just in case, or?
Do you have this? We've got
Okay,
it all.
okay, all right, I'm happy.
I don't think I wanna look at it. To be frankly honest.
I'll put it in file.
You know, you were having the big trash day.
Shredding. Shredding was already here last week.
Okay.
Okay.
So where are we now? Mr. Rowland?
We are on Mr. Rowland. Is Mr. Rowland your neighbor?
Thank you all. I don't think
Who
so.
was your neighbor that they were on your appraisal?
Oh, they're not actually a neighbor, they're just in the same town. We're not neighbors.
Oh,
I think it was on- I think it
okay. I was
the
thinking,
trust, yeah.
he was on your appraisal though.
Yeah, he was on one of the appraisals
Yes,
that I
he
used
was,
to that.
that's funny, okay. He was in it, okay.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, okay. You have it? So,
Appreciate it.
my face.
Okay.
Oh my word. Okay.
The Rowland account.
Papers, bathrooms, and
The
aids.
recommended change. The assessment is reduced by $39,600
Because of the correction of bathrooms and age of dwelling.
because of the corrections, yes.
I move
Which
we
are noted.
accept the abatement as presented.
I second that.
We're cooking with gas.
Is there further discussion? All in favor of the proposed abatement?
Oh my word. Oh, wow. Maybe I want more of that. Wait, I don't, oh, Willette. Shoot, I should have had his,
I got Daniel's.
that was his neighbor,
Yeah, that's how it's pronounced, Willette.
but I wanted his, yet it in his appraisal. We have. Dang, I knew it. Wanted this document.
And I think as long as it's taken us to do this and it's only $170 abatement, I recommend that we approve.
I move that we approve the $170 abatement.
Yes.
So, Suzanne, you seconding it?
I am seconding it.
Is there further discussion? All in favor?
Oh my God. I think we like it.
Oh, long enough.
No, it actually wasn't so bad. We've had later meetings.
Oh, I haven't.
You're welcome to keep that if you want. You can have that too then. Because I made copies of everything, I really want to, and that. Okay, So, where are we on, what's on the next topics, Christine? What do we set for next?
There's just, the only thing I have so far on the 21st are some housekeeping items. There's, we need to accept Jamie Wallace's resignation from the planning board.
That's unfortunate.
There's a possible appointment to the Board of Assessment Review. There's vital records, the online portal, what do you call that, Carly? From Tyler that we need to approve.
Oh, for the minutes of the.
No, for vital records.
Vital records, oh. Well, yeah, it's just a vital, it's easier to explain at the meeting.
Yeah, it's really housekeeping stuff. I don't have anything of substance on the agenda yet.
There are more abatements, correct, on the 21st?
There could be, but I don't know what to put forward. Parker Appraisal has not reviewed any more abatements other than Mr. Winters.
Less than a week, that's kind of tight, because it's next Thursday.
Yeah.
So that was the whole reason we were having a meeting, wasn't it, to do abatements?
No, that's our regular
No, it's
meeting.
our
This was a
regular meeting.
move.
This is a special meeting? Oh, I'm just having so much
Because we
fun.
didn't need
Let's just do
to-
one every Thursday?
Maybe not.
Plow through
So
it.
much fun.
Christmas.
So enjoyable.
Yeah.
Are there other comments and announcements?
No, I have none.
Public comment?
Different topic. Was the Birch Point Road, is it done?
It's done, yes. And it came in slightly under budget.
Well, that's good.
How much?
And this
We
was
had
just-
Not really.
a change value of 11,700.
Yeah, the change order was more than the reduction. There was a reduction too, which I don't have with me, but it came in under budget.
Don't we have a change order that if the select board approves anything over 5,000 in our purchasing policy?
Not for roads.
Yes, for roads, specifically for roads.
Well, I don't have that policy with me and I can't go upstairs, so we can talk about it next week if you
Can we put that on the agenda? I just want to make sure that, my gut's telling me that we did not follow that policy. I think we had a board approval for anything over 5,000 for road work. If I'm mistaken, that's great, just I'd like to see it.
Are you talking about change orders or
Yes.
road work? Okay.
Change orders, I believe, had to have a select board approval, anything over $5,000.
But you did approve the change order.
No, it was already paid on the warrant, we didn't get a
Oh.
chance to approve
Oh, it
it.
was just a town.
It was put through as a bill, I believe we
I
actually should have
advised them
approved
of
it.
it.
Right.
Is there further public comment? Mike?
You survived.
There's some lovely
It's so funny, there's humor.
Is there further comment? I would entertain
Second.
a motion to adjourn. You're gonna entertain?
I'll do second. I will totally, I like to entertain.
You need to have an actual motion, please.
I move that we adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Oh, sorry, she said entertain. Juanita, I'm not taking your $10.
I sincerely.
Nope. I'm more than happy to eat at home. I won't.